On Patreon, I think we've basically addressed this already, but what's the fundamental difference between classical liberalism and social liberalism, if any?
Well, the difference is on points of like policy, but I mean, really, in reality, I am actually a social liberal. But I say the word classical liberal because it differentiates the intellectual tradition I'm drawing on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm very, very concerned with differentiating liberalism from progressivism and liberalism from Marxism. Anything. I mean, any intellectual will be able to. Obviously, they'll be like, well, of course. Why would you need to do this? But it's for the layman. You know, the average layman doesn't really understand the difference, I think. And if you say I'm a classical liberal, then you are firmly planting your foot in the concept of self-ownership, markets, you know, free market economics, all that sort of thing. You're firmly planting the foot there. But I'm more than happy to take like sort of Hayek's interpretation of the acceptability of social programs as long as they don't violate the principles of individuality, of individualism, which means as long as they're universal, that's fine. You know, it's acceptable. We can bear it. It's not going to completely ruin what we consider to be our freedom.
So a few people ask me this. I get this asked all the time, but we have a couple on Patreon about this. So then how would you define the difference between classical liberalism and libertarianism? Because I get that all the time. People say, David, David. They go, Dave, you keep saying classical liberal, but it sounds like you're a libertarian.
Yeah,
but you're saying some utility of the state.
Absolutely. Well, it comes into the difference between whether you think the state is valid or not, frankly. The libertarian movement needs to figure out whether it can accept the existence of the state. And there are a huge number of libertarians who are basically closet ANCAPs. And I mean, the anarcho-communists are at least more realistic in the idea of anarchy, that when you have an anarchy, you're not going to own anything, which is true. The anarcho-capitalists are totally delusional. They are not going to own any property if there is no government. Government is there to protect your property rights, you being part of your own property rights. And libertarians need to understand that the government isn't evil, it's just being mismanaged at the moment. The state is valid, it's got a definitive place and we need it. And we need to be the ones controlling it. At the moment, we're not.